Has anyone ever told you that I don't know, you think too much or that you're a little too quiet? Well, what if I told you those things people call flaws are actually signs of a seriously intelligent mind? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden traits of intelligence, the ones you might not even know you have. I mean, have you ever had that feeling like you're just not as smart as everyone else in the room, like you're missing something? But what if? What if that's just not true? What if your brain is just running on a different operating system and its real power is hiding in plain sight? Yeah, I'm talking about those exact habits you might even be a little embarrassed about. Look, we get told all the time that certain things are weird or anxious or even lazy. But what if those labels are just plain wrong? What if they're actually the fingerprints of a brilliant mind doing its thing? So let's do this. Let's dive in and reframe these so-called quirks for what they might actually be. All right, let's kick things off with a sign that you might find a little surprising, maybe even one you try to hide. Yep, talking to yourself. It might feel a bit odd, but it's actually a powerhouse of a cognitive tool. So get this. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin actually found that saying your thoughts out loud can help you sort through information way faster and even boost your memory. It's basically like you're coaching yourself, organizing everything out loud to crack a tough problem. Even Einstein was famous for doing it to work through his biggest ideas. Okay, next up is something I think a lot of us are guilty of, but maybe we never realize the power hiding behind it. Sound familiar? You find yourself replaying a conversation over and over in your head, picking apart every single word. Or maybe you spend ages weighing the pros and cons of what seems like a simple choice. I promise you, this isn't just anxiety. It's a sign that your brain is firing on all cylinders, doing some really deep, detailed analysis. There's actually a pretty cool scientific word for this: metacognition. It literally means thinking about your own thinking, and it is a huge sign of a sophisticated mind. You're not just worrying, you're actively analyzing your own mental software to learn, to grow, and to adapt. All right, coming up next are two signs that seem like they shouldn't go together at all. But trust me, they reveal something really surprising about how smart people see the world and themselves. So if you get bored with routine, day-to-day tasks, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is hungry for something more complex, something new. It wants a real challenge. And what about constantly doubting yourself? That's not a weakness. No way. It's actually a sign that you're smart enough to realize just how much you don't know. This brings us to a super fascinating idea in psychology called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, the researchers found that people who don't know much about a topic tend to be wildly overconfident. But on the flip side, people with a ton of knowledge tend to underestimate their own skills because they're so aware of all the complexities. So if you're riddled with self-doubt, it might just mean you're way closer to being an expert than you think. Now let's dig into two more signs that have to do with how your brain deals with the world around you, from the dead of night to the middle of the day. Do you come alive after the sun goes down, getting your best ideas when everyone else is asleep? Or are you that person who gets totally thrown off by the tiniest sounds, like a clock ticking or someone tapping a pen? These aren't just random personality traits, they're major clues about how your brain is wired. Believe it or not, a study from the London School of Economics found a real link between being a night owl and having a higher IQ. The theory is that the quiet of the night gives your brain space for more creative, outside-the-box thinking. And that sensitivity to noise, it often means your brain is just taking in way more sensory data than the average person. It's great for noticing little details others miss, but yeah, it can also get a little overwhelming sometimes. Okay, for number 7, we need to talk about a habit that so many of us have, and almost all of us feel guilty about. Yep, we're going there: procrastination. But hang on, because there's a very specific kind of procrastination that's actually a big sign of high intelligence. Psychologists over at the University of Calgary actually have a name for this. They call it active procrastination. This is when your brain isn't just being lazy, it's being strategic. It waits for the perfect moment to dive into a task, usually when the pressure is on and your focus is razor sharp. It's about being incredibly efficient with your brain power and saving it for the moments that really count. Now, for our next two signs, we're looking at the incredible, deep connection between what you remember and how you feel. Are you the person who can pull up some random, obscure fact from a documentary you saw years ago, but you have no clue where you put your phone 5 minutes ago? Or do you feel things, joy, sadness, everything, with a kind of intensity that feels different from people around you? These aren't contradictions, they're signs of a really complex, deeply wired brain. Being able to remember those random little details, that's a sign of a really powerful and flexible working memory. And feeling emotions that intensely, that's often a sign of a highly sophisticated neural network. It means your brain processes everything, facts, feelings, you name it, with the same incredible depth. You don't just think deeply, you feel deeply. All right, we've made it. The final sign. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all, the one that truly connects the greatest minds. This last one has absolutely nothing to do with how you score on a test or how fast you can solve a Rubik's Cube. It's about something much more fundamental. That's it. A relentless, unquenchable thirst for knowledge. It's not just about liking school or reading books. It's that deep, fundamental need to ask why, to dig deeper, to question what you're told, and to never, ever be satisfied with a simple answer. That curiosity, well, that's the engine of a brilliant mind. And here's the coolest part. The very fact that you're here right now, listening to this, trying to figure out how your own mind works, that simple act of curiosity, that is the sign. That alone proves you've got it. So let's just forget about IQ scores and grades for a minute. Real intelligence, it's about self-awareness. It's about being adaptable. It's about never losing your curiosity and embracing the sheer depth of your thoughts and your feelings. So go on, embrace those quirks. They aren't flaws. They are the unique signatures of a powerful and incredible mind. The only real question left is, what are you going to do with it?